Hello.
Hello, hello.
Happy fall equinox for those of you guys that are in the northern hemisphere and those of you that are southern hemisphere having a different reality, but being able to connect today on a very special day and also talk about what the fall is bringing for us. For those of you not in the fall season right now, we'll be talking about what the next few months might be bringing us, because we're still all connected to some heavy energies and some beautiful abundant energies that are here for us both astrologically, well there we go, me trying to speak, and energetically. So
you got it, girl, it's okay.
Right? So
it's okay.
welcome everybody. And if you're brand new, I'm Dov.
I'm Nicole.
We are so happy to see you guys here today. We are transformational coaches and mentors, activators, and much more. And so we're here to talk about and connect with you guys, because we're also feeling all of you guys kind of calling out and saying, hey, I need to connect. I need to know what is going on right now. I need to know why I feel this way. And we wanted to connect with you guys and serve that. So make sure that you share this message right now and that you tag people in it. Make sure that we can get this message out and we can all be here live together, as many of us as possible. And if you're watching the replay, you can still do that. But we want to be able to connect with you guys in real time if possible.
Beautiful souls. You know, it's interesting. There's so much fear programming going on right now. So I really get that. I really understand the collective is in fear, especially in the United States. The election is coming. So I just want to say to that right off the bat that we must trust. We must trust. We are creating our reality. We are shifting timelines. We have control and power over many things. You have control and power over yourself and your mind. And that's a very powerful thing. Can also be a very dangerous place, right? So when we connect in this space, right, I want to bring you to truth right now.
Yes.
That you are safe. You are more than safe. Things are being built in such a way, right, where our future is going to look very different in a beautiful way. And Dov and I have been feeling that. We've been experiencing that. 2020 has been one of the best years of Dov and I's life, because we have worked so hard to build a fortress of protection, of love, of honor, of connection, of compassion. I got my tribe behind me. I got my mentors behind me. I built it. I built something that functions for me when the storm comes. Mm-hmm. Many of you have built that, and some of you, you're still laying your foundation. I get that. And some of you are still gutting the old foundation, right? So we're all in different places, but we've all been in those places. Can somebody give me an amen or an aho? We've all been in those places where I had to gut my foundation, where it was rotting, where it was not correct. It was not aligned. It was not me, right? So that we can place in it, right? When we talk about planting into beautiful grid systems, right? There's beautiful grids on this planet that we are creating, that we are of. Like moving our asses into a different place. And there I went cursing. Cha-ching! Got check. Allowing ourselves to anchor into who we truly are, understanding the power that we are, the love that we are, so that the rest of the brick and the mortar can be built in that honor, in that beauty. And what happens in that space is you build, when I talk about heaven on earth, as above, so below, we start to build that reality in front of us. And so that is the reality that I am experiencing right now. And that is the reality that some of you are experiencing right now. And if you're not experiencing that right now, I promise you it's right there in front of you. It's so close.
Absolutely. So let's back up a little bit. And some of you guys, right, we have been impacted and we know what's going on in the world, and all of you have been impacted. And at the same time, what Nicole is talking about is being able to be that sturdy space of foundation no matter what happens, knowing your wellness, knowing your stability, knowing your mind. And also why it has been such a beautiful year is because so many people and so much accumulation of the goodness is coming, right? So many people are coming into more design for themselves, more awakening, more remembrance, more awareness of so many parts of themselves. And then we're having this ability to consciously create from that space. So you're having this very big split that is occurring for a lot of you right now, where you're experiencing the contrast of the world, right? We're experiencing a lot of challenge and difficulty and sadness in the world. And then at the same time, you're experiencing, some of you, this possibility for breakthrough, possibility for growth, watching yourself create, watching your intentions manifest. And so you might be sitting in a place where, as Nicole said, your whole foundation might feel like it's rotting. And that means that it is time for that to change within your life. Now, you've already been indicated in where you can bring your attention. Or you might feel that you're experiencing this golden moment in your life, even though there is external challenge. And we've talked a lot, there's a lot of energy around this.
Yes.
We've spoken a lot, in the past with you guys about how, even when it all looks like it is breaking down, that there is always the need for the breakdown before the breakthrough. So a lot of what's happening right now is a transition.
Yes.
Right? And so I want you guys to be aware, and we'll talk about this more in the future. When we enter and give energy to these ideas of like everything is falling apart, it's the end, right? That is really, you're taking all that incredible lit up creation energy that you hold and you're feeding that reality, right? And we're not talking about bypassing. We're not talking about ignorance. Bad things, happen. Hard things are going on. Tragedies are occurring, right? We're dealing with difficulty.
Yes.
But where we put the energy in what we're creating and what we're giving time to and care to, that is where you're empowered, right? And there is so much of that coming up, because you can feel right now. Let's talk. Neither Nicole and I are, astrologists, and this is not kind of our focus of work, but we keep in tune of what the basic energies are going on. And a lot of you guys, whether you follow astrology or not, you can feel the energy since September 9th is like tighter and more restrictive and more warring and more irritated, and there is more uproar, and it is happening right in conjunction, if you're in the States or affected by the United States in any way, and many countries, the world is all kind of interconnected at this point. So of course everyone is affected, right? We're coming up on an election that's happening within Mars retrograde, and then we have, actually, it might be the tail end of Mercury as well, because Mercury goes retrograde mid-October. So now you've got this dual energy of just like slow, inverted, challenge, difficulty, contrast. And at the same time, now here we are standing on the fall equinox today, this perfect balance of light and darkness in equal space. And we're sitting in the ability to reap what we have sown, but also in a really positive and beautiful way. Like you guys are also, a lot of you are coming to us, a lot of our clients, I've been conversations with a lot of you guys. And what I feel for you is like many people are stepping into really beautiful blessing, really beautiful awakening, really beautiful goodness. And so it's important now more than ever for us to have a lot of personal responsibility for our thoughts, our actions, our behavior. It is one of the most critical times to do that, because it is time for you to pick those fruit of the things that you have been creating, right? And we want them to be beautiful, ripe, delicious fruit, and not sort of, rotten and disgusting, right? Because it depends on what it is that we've been feeding, what we've been giving energy to, what we've been giving care to. And so now we're in this moment where we get to balance that, and you guys will feel that. You might feel your body's been uncomfortable, you have very weird symptoms, you're having trouble sleeping, you feel more irritable, you're having a hard time with communication. All these things are occurring, and you can feel the collective really strong. Like today's another one of those days, right? Friday was another one of those days where you just feel like, wow, there's so much going on that's not necessarily mine, but I can feel it, and I can feel the waves of fear, chaos, anger that is kind of just permeating throughout the planet right now.
And so the message I just heard was stop running from yourself. That part of you that's just like, I don't want to do this.
Right.
It's not that time. Like, you cannot run from yourself right now. And the more you surrender to yourself and what is going on in front of you, whether it's good or bad, like really looking at it, allowing yourself to walk through it, experience it. If it's something that you don't want to experience, but feeling it, like, okay, I created that. This feels awful, right? Being able to walk through it so that you could have the fruit that Dov was talking about, because it's right there. I have never seen in the energy fields anything like I'm seeing right now. I am seeing like fruit, like, like big old fruit. Like, you guys have planted so many seeds. You have watered all them tears, watered them things, all the pain, all the grievance, all of the breakdowns, all of the things that you guys have witnessed this year, all of the things that you have held up this year. You have held up so much, opening your eyes from that high vantage point, looking at it, being in compassion and love, while maybe the rest of the world wasn't, holding that up. There are blessings for that, baby. And they are here and they are coming and they will not stop. They will keep coming and coming so long as you stop running.
Yes.
That field of fruit is yours. Stop running from your field. If there are weeds in it, you pull them, right? If there are things and critters and little snakes and little foxes that are eating your fruit, we remove them, right? You are the tender of that garden, your energy field right now. It is very important that you take your seat, your throne, in front of your garden. You pay close attention, being the observer, not the judger, not the storyteller, just an observer, where you go, that little fox is jacking up the freaking garden, he's messing it up. He's eating everything, right? Just going, okay, we're gonna take you out of there. Let's walk you over here. I'm gonna feed you on the side of the garden. Don't lead him into somebody else's. No, I'm kidding. But it's true.
Yeah.
Right? You get to tend to it. Make it exciting. When I see things that within myself that come up around Dove, like last night something happened and I was just being a child. Like I did so, it wasn't like a big deal. But this morning I woke up and I was like, baby, did you love what a little freaking child I was being last night when I already knew that like what I was doing was kind of like just, but I did it anyways. I was like, man, like, and I was like a little baby. But I got to admit it and go, wow, there's things that I resist or there's things that I do. And I know that if I do them, they're going to have not a great result, but I do them anyways. And I get to look at it and observe it in such a beautiful way instead of judging myself. It can be quite exciting when you make it like a little humorous. The fact that we're human and we're messy and we do things that are so weird and sometimes out of character, and it's okay that that happens.
Yes.
And you get to change whatever you would like to change.
Yes, I saw, Spirit had me guided to one of the comments, and somebody said that they're not really stepping into their life. And if you recognize that in this moment, you have the opportunity in this moment, right? So if you are standing here in the space of accepting the fruits of your labor and they're beautiful and they're bountiful, then that is something you need to offer to the world because you're opening up a pathway. So you receive them, you don't reject them, you don't feel that you don't deserve them. And if you're sitting there going, everything in my foundation is rotten, you have an awareness and that gets to change right now. This is such a beautiful and important time. And I think right now, a lot of people from what I'm, seeing in my broad and extended community is a lot of people are also feeling powerless, right? Because you have decided that there are things that are really outside of your control. And things being outside of our control is so illusory, right? That's so much an illusion that we've been fed because they get to be okay. They even get to be blessed or good no matter what.
Yes.
That's a lie and a distortion that we have been fed, is like that you are somehow this small being that has no ability to control things outside of yourself. And we get certain things ahead of us that feel too big. Like you might be overwhelmed right now by all the stuff that's been going on in the world. You might be overwhelmed by what's going on with the election. You might be overwhelmed what's going on with work. You might be overwhelmed, and you might feel that those things are so far outside of your individual control. So I want to take you back to a more fundamental thing. What do you want? What is it that those things, if they were to work out in your favor, provide you? Is it that you want to feel safe and you want to feel self-expressed and you want to feel that you know that everything is okay and you want finances to flow and you want, your health to be bountiful and you want, right? So going back to your deeper intention and those things you actually do have control over.
Yes.
And it feels so tiny and small if it's just one of us, but the thing is if we all saw that, or if a lot of us saw that, right, there would be no strongholds.
Yes.
There would be no big stronghold. So even though others might not see it in this moment, you get to make a choice. And there is a lot of gold and a lot of beauty in the storm of this year. A lot. Yes. And a lot of people are having major breakthroughs in their life right now. And the next year is also promised to follow in that way. So are the storms going to stop coming? No, not right now. Right? There are more storms coming for the fall. This is going to be a rocky and challenging and interesting months coming. But how you navigate that journey is going to dictate the reality for you in a very vast way. Yes. I'm going to say that one more time. It doesn't matter so much what is happening. It matters how you are navigating that. And I'm getting the hiccups because
there's a lot of energy.
This is pretty big stuff for you guys. You're changing just in that moment. Your perspective shift is everything.
Yep.
And I feel like I need to say it one more time, right? There are facts of things that are coming, and there are difficulties, and there are tragedies. And, we have been praying, and we've been praying for California, and we've been praying for, the whole West Coast. We've been praying for, all the things that are going on and people that are being challenged. We're praying for people's health, and we're all those things. And how you navigate it is going to absolutely dictate whether or not you're accessing those things you want, like your happiness and your own individual health and your wellness and your peace of mind and your growth and your development and your abundance.
Yes.
All connected to this. So I implore you more than ever, ever, ever before, recognize that you are not subject to external reality without being connected to it. And that you absolutely have a place to change what is happening inside of you and in your individual life, no matter what is happening outside of you. No matter what is happening outside of you.
Yeah.
And if you think about all sorts of incredible leaders and teachers have spoken about this for eons, right? And if you think about, Nelson Mandela talking about the fact that he found freedom inside of a jail cell, freedom that he had never found before. And we hear these things and we're like, oh, that sounds good. It sounds great. Wow, that's so amazing. And where are we in application of that? Where are we in application of that? Why have people been saying the same thing for eons? Because we are not applying them. It doesn't matter if you know the information. It matters how you're embodying those things into your reality. It is time to integrate what it is that you know and put it into practice. And move the stuff out of the way within yourself that is not allowing that practice to occur. And that changes reality, and that changes the world. So we're in a magical time.
Yes.
At the end of the day. Magic doesn't always beautiful reality shifts. They look like a mess. Let's talk about remodeling. Let's say you have your house and you decided you're going to build your dream kitchen. I love to cook, so I want a dream kitchen, right?
Yes,
so let's say you want to remodel and you're going to do a dream kitchen. What does it look like before your kitchen gets installed?
Jacked.
Right? You have to rip everything down. It's a disaster. There are holes in your house. There are holes in your house. And you're gutting things out and you're pulling things out and there is dust everywhere and it looks like chaos. But it's chaos and it's storm that is built from the debris of what it is that is in the way of the dream that you want to have, which then gets to be installed. So I'd love you guys, if you're wanting to take that in, my invitation to you is let that perspective shift come in. And what if it wasn't the end, but the end of a lot of crap?
Yes.
For you, for the collective. And what if how abundant that future reality looks is totally dependent on you? It is.
Yes.
It is. And then you are not divorced from your life and it is not occurring to you, no matter how far out there you think it is, right? There are things more powerful than man that are affecting our lives on a daily basis, and you are connected to those things, and you and your consciousness are creating those things as well.
Oh, I love what Dov just said, that there's more than man that's going on, more than the eye can see, more about energy and different things of that nature, and just trusting in the beautiful love frequency that we are and that we came from is really important. And I want to say one last thing. When the fruit comes and the good comes and you haven't had a whole lot of good, it's very uncomfortable to receive that good.
Amen.
I do want to say this to you. Some of you are afraid to receive that good because you're afraid that you may lose it or you may never have it. And also, it's just completely uncomfortable to have something very new, even if the good looks way better than the bad you've been having in your life.
Oh,
it
absolutely.
still feels 100% really, really uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
And if you got self-worth issues, it's gonna be really, really hard for you to receive it. So I'm saying this to you to let you know when that gift is on your door and it is coming and it is being presented to you. Well, remember my words saying to you, this might feel uncomfortable, but I'm gonna say thank you and I'm gonna take it anyways. And then I'm gonna celebrate the fact that I just got this beautiful gift in my life. Or maybe I made a huge decision that changed my whole life. Or maybe I stopped making a certain decision that changed my whole life. And let yourself receive no matter what it feels like. And my whole body is tingling right now and I got the chills because many of you needed to hear that.
Yes.
And you are so loved. You are so loved by this universe. We love you and we're doing this together. You are not alone. We are doing this together. We hold each other up through the storm, over the storm, on the side of the storm. We're here together. And that's beautiful that we're doing this together.
Yes. And so I invite you guys really, and go back, listen to this again so that you can go back and really integrate this, right? Because it's no longer, it's time for the work at a whole new level now. It is time for you to really step in, as Nicole said, step into what you are and who you are and what you're creating. And know that even if you feel like, well, just me, little old me, like, yeah, little old you is not little old you. You're connected to infinite consciousness that is never destroyed, never goes anywhere. And now it's time for our responsibility and our reclamation of our lives and our world. What a beautiful and important time. And your perspective in these next months are going to shape the reality. And I do mean the reality that you exist in, because I speak to people and experience people that are living a reality that is completely different from mine, as if we were taken and put in two different planets.
Yes.
That is how contrasting realities will look right now. Realities are no longer subject to what is going on in the world. They're subject to what is going on inside of your consciousness.
Yes.
And that is one of the most radical things I have ever seen. This is a radical time. Like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. We are seeing different realities. And I know some of you guys, if you want to share in the comment, I know you're seeing it. Yes. I know your reality is not matching up somehow. Or you're having a very different thing. Or you're seeing people having very contrasting realities. So your perspective as we go into these next months is vital. It is vital.
Yes.
And as Nicole said, you are not alone, and we love all of you guys very much. And if you are new, I'm going to invite you guys to like and follow and subscribe. And if you guys are not on our other platforms, please make sure, if you have an Instagram or YouTube, to follow and subscribe there. We're trying to make sure that we're available to you in all places. And so it's important for us to stay as connected as possible. And we're also soon...
Because Dov and I like to move. We're like little beings that like to move.
Yes. And we're also soon going to open up another way. We're going to be announcing next week, kind of as a pre-announcement. We're going to have a way for you guys to text message, stay in contact with us, right?
Yes.
It is also really important to just like know what's going on, when we're going to be where, whatever is happening, and you guys be able to get that right on your devices and your phone.
And you may or may not get voice notes from us telling you that it's gonna be aight. It's gonna be aight.
You may or may not. So you'll look out for that. And we love all of you guys. And if this message resonated, please write a comment, like it, share it, tag somebody in it that you feel needs to hear it. But we're with you guys, and celebrate today. Celebrate the balance today. Grieve if you need to the things that feel scary and hard. Look at it like equally, but then equally look at the beauty, the abundance. And if it feels hard, if it feels really unequal in your life, then spend time pulling, like, I'm grateful I'm watching this video. I'm grateful that I had breakfast. I'm grateful that it's sunny, or I'm grateful that it's snowing. Like, really anchor in and equalize it in this moment on this equinox. Equalize it and feel it and practice seeing it. And if you want to worry, or you're worrying, or you can't stop yourself from worrying, then make sure you're spending as many minutes in a day that you spend worrying, fantasizing and accessing the reality of the world you want.
Yes.
And that is your homework.
Yes.
And your invitations, if you want to take it.
We love you.
We love all of you, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye, guys.